Let's take a short look at the Matlab environment and how you can customize it and where you can go to look for more information. This is the default layout of the Matlab window when you launch Matlab. All the tools are in one window. There's the command window where you enter commands, the editor for editing script files. The contents of the current folder is listed here. Those can be dragged into the editor very easily. The workspace is shown here, showing visually all the variables that are in the workspace. And finally, the command history down here, which is a recording of all the commands that have been issued. As I record this slides, I'm doing a lot of clearing the screens, clearing the workspace, and so on. That's why you see that. I'd like to show you how to manage the layout and give you steps to rearrange the tools, remove some of the tools, undock tools to their own separate window, and finally alter the style. Let's first see how we can rearrange the tools. Let's join the command window and editor into a single window with a tab. Here I go to the top of the editor, do a single click. I'm holding the mouse button down and I'm moving the mouse down. At some point, there, you see how the shape now has a tab in it. If I now release, the command window and editor are in the same window. There's just a tab to select one for the other. To go back, left click on the editor, pull down, and there, I'm back to where I started. You can also move windows easily. Move the workspace down to the bottom here, or move the command history down to the bottom. Maybe the current folder is taking up too much space and I'd like to move it down with the command history. Drag that over here. Now I've got more real estate for the editor and the command window. The size of the windows can be altered. Grabbing the pane between the windows allows me to change the size. So rearranging is not hard. The behavior takes a little getting used to, but with a little practice you should have enough control to place the tools where you'd like. Removing is really easy. Let's see that. Let me start by going back to the default layout. Under the Home tool strip, we can go to Layouts and just select Default. Now what if I'd like to remove the Workspace tool? Go over to the right of the window, Show Workspace Actions, come down here and simply select Close. Here the command history window grew, taking the free space created by the removal of the workspace window. So removing is very easy. Just click on the Actions button and select Close. Just as removing tools from the window is easy, undocking tools from the window into their own separate window is just as easy. Let's go try this. Again, let's go back to a default layout. Many users like to have the editor undocked in a separate window. Go to the Editor Actions button and select Undock. That will undock the entire editor. Now the editor is in a window of its own and I can find the rest of my Matlab session here. That's all it takes to undock. How about redocking? Let's go back to the editor. Here it is. And if I go to the Action button, I can dock the editor back. There it is, back where it started. So undocking and docking, just like closing, can be effected through the Actions button. Lastly, let's see how to alter the style of the tools within the window. Let's start by moving the command window and the editor side by side. Then I'm going to move the workspace, the command history, and the command window to the right and replace them with tabs. I'm minimizing them to the right. Minimizing to the right and minimizing to the right. For the current folder, I'm going to minimize that to the left. Now I've got a layout that really is focused on the editor and I can recover any one of the windows by just simply hitting their tab. I can even change the shape of how large it opens up. So I'm ready to use the command window, but mostly focused on the editor. Similar for the command history and the workspace, as well as the current folder. Earlier, when I was talking about the editor, we remarked that the open files are listed on the left here. By selecting this little dotted panel, I can move that somewhere else. There they're on the top. Here's the dotted panel now, and I can move them to the bottom. I like them on the left, and that's where I'm going to keep them. There's a lot of flexibility in choosing the layout that you like best. Depending on how you work, some layouts are more appropriate than others. As you become comfortable with Matlab, take some time and get a layout that really works for you. You can learn more by going to the Home tab and then clicking on Help and selecting Examples. Here's some videos that you can watch related to what I've been talking about. Getting started with Matlab, working in the development environment, and writing a Matlab program. Watch those, and as the course proceeds, watch some of the other videos as well. Let's close this help window and do one more thing now that we've taken so much time to get a layout that we like. Go to the Layout button and select Save Layout. That way I can recover this with a single click. I'll save this as E7 Andy. Now I can go back to the default layout or right back to my E7 Andy layout. Deleting layouts is easy too. Just organize layouts, select E7 and delete. In this unit, we've learned how to lay out the Matlab environment the way we want, and also found some resources to help us learn more. One thing to remember is once you've converged on a layout that you like, be sure and save it using Save Layout in the Layout button, which is found in the Home tool strip.